Hi you guys, it is afternoon, so I'm having a crisp Pepsi and not a coffee. I have been struggling to film in the morning, so afternoon it is. Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name's Kelly. I'm a 25-year-old stay-at-home mum to two girls. I have a 2-year-old and a newborn. She is 5 weeks old, Paige and Dior, and basically I create content based on all things motherhood, lifestyle, and personal finance. I create on TikTok, Instagram, and I've just branched out into YouTube, and I'm really excited about it because I love watching long form content. So actually getting to create it myself is so exciting. Anyway, I thought that we could do an April favorites / May reset video. I love resetting for May and talking about everything that went right for me in April, everything that went wrong, and all the things I loved. So I thought that we could start the video off. Obviously we're going to get into all the personal finance and the money talk later, but I thought we could start off by doing like an April favorites and a little recap of April. Starting off in April, I read 3 books. I'm a really avid reader. I read on my Kindle, and I have taken up that hobby since probably about 6 months ago, maybe even less. It's a hobby I've become obsessed with, and I really enjoy it. So I read 3 books this month. I aimed for 4, but this month a lot of things gotten in the way. Obviously I was freshly postpartum, had a baby, just shy of April starting, and then obviously getting back into work content, all that kind of good stuff. So I read 3 books. I read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This book, wow, okay, I want to read the rest of the 2 books in the series, but I just haven't bought them on Kindle. They're not on Kindle Unlimited, which A Good Girl's Guide to Murder is on Kindle Unlimited, and the other 2 aren't. So I haven't gotten around to buying them. I thought maybe my husband could do it for my Mother's Day or for my birthday, which is in June. This book, I would probably give it a 4 to a 4.5 stars. It kept me on my toes. When I say, like, I could not expect anything in this book, when I thought I knew what was going on, I was hit with another plot twist. It was even more, I had no idea, than how I feel about Frida McFadden books. This one, it had me shook. I would highly recommend this. If you do like Frida McFadden, all those kind of thriller books, this is a really good one. I'm really excited to read the second 2 books. So if you have read them, I would love to know your opinions. Then the other 2 books I read were finishing off the Windy City series by Liz Tomford. I think I'm saying it right. Loved it. So I loved the first 3 books, and I tried to read Play Along a little while ago, and I got like a chapter or 2, and then I got a little bit bored of it. I think it might have been because I read the 3 books back to back, and then I was trying to read the 4th back to back. I kind of got sick of that whole storyline. So I was up to the book between Isaiah and Kennedy, which, yeah, now I read it, I really loved it, and I loved Rewind It Back, but obviously I had to go and read like something else as a little bit of a palate cleanser and then come back to it, which is what I did in March. So between February and March, I read the first 3 books of the Windy City series, and then I went back and read a Frida McFadden book. Then I came back to the Windy City series and finished it off. So I've now read all 5 books, and I have started the spin-off, In Her Own League, the spin-off that she's written and released. I'm reading that also on Kindle Unlimited. So I read all my books on Kindle Unlimited, and then if I need to buy one, I will buy it. I do find that sometimes the books are more expensive on Kindle, like Amazon, than they are to buy hardcover books. I just really struggle with hardcover books. So if it's a hardcover book that I need to buy, I'll just put it to the side, and then I'm going to come back to them. I'm just trying to really set this hobby in stone, and by doing that, I need to just keep reading on my Kindle. I find it really easy to read on my Kindle at night. I love reading between feeding my newborn, or like literally just at night when my husband goes to sleep. And I can read it without having the light on. So I really enjoy that. So obviously In Her Own League is a book that I'm reading for May, and you'll probably see it in next month's favorites and reset. But yeah, I really enjoyed the Windy City series. So I'd probably say, I think either book 3 or book 1 were my favorites. I did really like book 5, but rewind it back, I just read it. I'd probably give them probably about 3 stars. I feel like by the 5th book, whilst it was an amazing storyline and I really love the characters and everything that the author did with that, I feel like it was so predictable, and so they were all very much similar. I think because they're all a group of friends right in the end. So having all of the same characters in all of the same books, I think as a new reader, it kind of got a little bit draining and a little bit, oh, I've seen this before. So I don't know if that's just me being a new reader or if that is something that readers go through, but that is how I felt. They were my reads for April, and now I want to talk about a couple of things that have become favorites of mine that I'm using on the daily. First up is this cleansing oil. I'll put a picture here from Acacia Naturals. I did a collaboration with Acacia Naturals and was gifted some of their beautiful products, and oh my gosh. So I'm a little bit skeptical and a little bit, I loved Whipped Tallow Balm, but I do struggle a bit with the scent. I really struggle with having the beefy smell all around me. However, the cleansing oil doesn't have that, but it's still good for my skin because it's a natural product. So I've been really enjoying that to take my makeup off at the end of the day. I just use this on a cotton pad or a reusable makeup towel, and I'll put some of the cleansing oil on, and it literally, a couple of swipes, you only need like literally 2 sprays, like 2 pumps, and it literally comes straight off. So I've really been enjoying that, and I feel like it's really helped my skin. I know my skin doesn't look the clearest, but it has helped it to be a lot clearer. So I've been really enjoying that. And the other favorite that I just wanted to mention was the car diffusers from Luxe Scents. We brought a new Palisade in February, and I have become obsessed with these car diffusers. They smell so divine. So they're based on luxury perfumes. Like you're talking like Lady Million, 1 Million, all the guys and the girls perfumes and colognes, and they smell divine. They make your car literally like smell like perfume, and I'm obsessed with them. I ran out of the one that was in my car, but I had refills, so I just refilled it with the refill droppers, and it was good as new, good to go. And they look so pretty, so I literally can't recommend them enough. It makes my car smell out of this world, and I have a new car, so it is starting to lose a bit of its new car smell, but this has made it still smell really nice. So now that is the end of the favorites, I thought we could dive straight into the money aspect of this video and literally get straight into all the crunching the numbers. Basically, I'm very nervous and excited to see how this goes, because I'm not gonna lie, we have never really looked back at the previous month. So while we budget quite heavily and every dollar has a purpose, we've never gone back and looked at the previous month and pulled all the figures together to actually see how much we're spending in these categories. So this, I have done it already because I was scared to do my raw reaction on the camera, and I knew they were going to be high. I need to remember that this month is unrealistic because my husband was just on paternity leave. We just had our second baby, so we were eating out a lot, we were going a lot of places, using a lot of fuel, having extra groceries, all those kinds of things, and we need to be kind to ourselves because it's a really hard season of life that we've just gone through. But oh my golly gosh, I was not ready. I was not ready for the numbers, okay? So why don't we just stop rambling and just get straight into it? And I feel like that's so important. So I feel like we may as well just jump straight in. As you can see, I'm showing you guys the monthly spreadsheet now, which has the monthly numbers. So this is all for April. As I said, please bear with me. These are unrealistic because my husband's just had a month off. So, and we did not hold back. We went out to eat. Got whatever we wanted on groceries. We, ate a lot of takeout and luxurious food, and we did not hold back. So let's see, crunching the actual numbers, how we actually did, where our money went, and whether it is sustainable or not. A lot of these categories are not going to be sustainable because we had budgeted extra money for them. So they're just not going to carry through. Starting off right in, this is actually our first time correlating our month's numbers and inputting them and showing them realistically. I just never really had a spreadsheet set up to do that. I've now created a monthly spreadsheet where I can basically throughout the month, I can either do it via transactions, which I don't like. Every single transaction, I find it so tedious, but I can just sort of do it as a lump sum. So like I can lump sum all the groceries together and then just input those numbers, and then that will come up and show me how much we spent on that all together. I find this is so easy for my brain. It simplifies it a lot, and I can actually, it makes it realistic for me. If we put a strong $330 into our savings, with most of that going to our gifts. I'm going to scroll in a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit easier. $250 went to our gifts. We have a gift sinking fund, so it is important that we put at least $50 in there every single week. Mind you, April was a 5 paycheck month, so we got paid 5 times throughout April rather than the necessary 4. And yeah, so a lot of that was the gifts, but there was a little bit of sparse savings here and there. We saved pretty much nothing though, because my husband was on paternity leave, so we were putting all the money we were getting to like eating out, groceries, all those kinds of things, rather than savings. Not ideal, but it is what it is. So the savings is looking a little dry and a little sad. But coming over now, we have debt. Obviously, we have our mortgage, and that is a set amount of $3,000, which works out to be $600 a week. And then that is a month worth of car loan repayments. So $4,432.30 went to our car loan. On debt as it is. We wanted to put some extra payments. Obviously, with savings, it just didn't happen. Now, moving on to bills. So some of these are how much we put away each week for the annual bill, and some of these are for the bills that come out in the month. So for phone and internet, it's $335 a month for all of our phone and internet needs, 2 phones and then our internet provider. And then same with like, this is how much we spend on my daughter's swimming. Lawn care though is a 2 monthly thing. So I just added up what we'd put away each week and then put that as the total. Same with all of our yearly expenses. Electricity, it actually was under that. I think it was about $380, but I haven't updated it. So we're just going to leave that as it is, because I'd rather be over budgeted and over actualed for our bills. And then these were the subscriptions that came out in April. So I've moved our annual passes for like zoos and things to our subscriptions account, and this is something I'm doing a bit different this year. Is I'm budgeting every week. We're putting money away every week for all of our annual passes, because they're really important to us, making memories with our kids, like the zoo, sea life, and then we have a local farm that we go to. So all of this is going to be accommodated for. Then when the renewals come up, the money is sitting there in a little safety buffer in our subscriptions, and we don't have to think twice about it. I don't know if anyone is really familiar or has a zoo around them, but for the zoo we go to Australia Zoo. We live about 40 minutes from Australia Zoo, and we love going there. And it costs us about $400 for 2 adult passes, but we're going to have to start paying for my daughter in the next year. So that's also been factored in. And that's why that's so high, because our annual passes came up for renewal. And then obviously I had my CapCut subscription this month, things like Everyday Extra with this month, and that's yearly expenses that don't come out all the time, but that is why that is so high. So overall for our expenses, it came to $2,896.97, which is not too bad. I'm going to tell you, it's not too bad. So now expenses, as you can see, I've got an overall spending section and then expenses broken down. For the purpose of this month, I have added these ones, but I'm not tracking the price or the amounts that we spent on them, because I don't really do that, but moving forward I will be. So I'll be sort of breaking it down. When we spend money on clothing, I'll add that in there, and then same with home, kids, beauty. I think I've changed this to health and beauty in May, but we'll see. So as you can see up the top, we've just got these are the figures that I'm going to be focusing on, because these are the ones that I've actually done properly. So obviously mortgage and car loan are at the top. We've gone through them. Then we have groceries. I've budgeted $1,500, which is about $300 a week for 5 weeks. And we literally spent nearly every dollar of that. My biggest focus for May is to bring the grocery budget way down, because groceries are something we struggle with so hard. I've gotten a few more tips and tricks to buy like energy drinks online through Amazon. You can get bulk packs and it works out to be cheaper than the special deals on at the shops. Same with protein bars. We really like the Muscle Nation, the crisp ones especially. So I'm going to do a few of those things to see if I can lower our grocery budget. But yeah, so that is something that is going to be a problem area that I'm really focusing on in May. Extracurricular, that's pretty standard. My daughter's Little Kickers, and we paid for the swimming term in full a couple weeks ago, so we won't pay anything in May, and then she'll take a break for June, July. And then I'll factor that back into our budget when she starts back up for the term after winter. Bills is... How is that different? Oh, okay. So this is the bills that actually did leave our account. $709.46. They are the actual bills that left our account, but I am going to just change that, and I'm just going to change it to these ones, I think. So we did that, and then it doesn't include extracurricular though, so maybe try that and then go equals like I said, I'm still working on this spreadsheet. It's a work in progress. Okay, that should have fixed it. So bills, $2,641.97, and that's just minus the extracurriculars, which are already accounted for. Okay, sure. Eating out, oh, $907. Oh my gosh, this is what literally shook me. $900 on eating out. Granted, my husband was on paternity leave this month, and we did a lot of eating out. We had at a few of our favorite cafes that we normally never get to, and we had a lot of convenience. We needed things when we were in the newborn trenches. Like the first 2 weeks, you don't want to be cooking, you don't want to be worried about cooking, so that's fine. We had budgeted extra money. We budgeted like $500. We saved up like $500 extra over the course of my husband working the last month, specifically for that. So I can't really even be mad. It is what it is. Petrol, we spent $255.06. The budget is what we put away over the month. So we put $100 away. No, we put $80, I think it is, every week. So over 5 weeks, that's $400. Pets, we spent nothing. Which is a lie. We did spend $141 on dog food, so I need to update that. Or did I factor that to spending? Oh, I don't know. This is all over the shop, this one. Spending, yeah, $1,500. As I said, we had a lot to buy. We had a new baby. We've switched to formula feeding, so I had to go and buy brand new bottles. That was $300 at Baby Bunting, all those kinds of things. And then $263.81 on gifts. They are Mother's Day gifts my husband bought for me, and then a few other things. So overall for the month, we spent $11,890.55. Yeah. I think I might start, instead of doing these, because we don't pay for them that month, I'll put them into the month we pay for them. How about that? I reckon I should do that. Yeah. So that would be $0 then to rates, water, electric did come out, but I think it was $350. I'm going to say $350. How does that affect everything? It brings it down to $10,743.55. Yeah. Maybe I'll do it that way, and I'll just only input these when we pay for them. So they're going to be like $1,000 when we pay for them, but we put the money away every single week. But technically the money's not leaving our accounts. Technically we're not spending it. I think that's the way to go. I'm going to do it that way. So we'll go over. So that was April. As you can see, where my money goes, 3% went to savings, 30.3% went to expenses, 40.3% went to debt, which was our hugest chunk of pie, and 26.4% went to bills. I think the goal for May needs to be debt is obviously going to be at the top. Then I want it to be bills. It's going to have to be debt, savings, bills, expenses. That is how the pie chart needs to go. we'll see if we can do that in May. All right, so I've already done May's. It looks a bit different because our income is going to be higher. I don't know why there's $39 still sitting here. Do not budget $39. I have gone through and put into every sort of thing that we're going to be spending. And yeah, so obviously savings, we're not spending the money, so I haven't included that in our overall spending, but it would be nice to see how much we can save and see like how much is there. So okay, so now we're finished with April. We're gonna head over to May and we're gonna have a look at the figures and sort of do the budget. I've already done it just because I wanted to see what it would look like in the spreadsheet that I've created for a new month when I'm starting fresh and actually starting at the start. But now, because we have gone and said that we're gonna do these in the months that they come out in, I'm gonna put them at $0. Subscriptions, I'm pretty sure the $190 is for our monthly subscriptions. Let's have a look. So everything else, I've got my subscriptions. The monthly ones, we've got this, we've got okay, iCloud, Spotify, Patreon for my husband, and then Kindle. $77 for monthly expenses. And then I don't think there's anything that's coming out in May, so then we can change this to $77. Our electricity and water and that are due this month. I'm gonna have a look at how much they are. Electricity due in May is $357.48. Our water is also due in May. I'm gonna have a look at that. 28, 433.28. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Okay, and then I don't think we've got rates yet of the rates as well, because they're due at the same time. Oh, it's so annoying. Okay, I'm gonna copy and paste them over because they're gonna be, actually no, I'm not gonna do that. I'll do that at the end. Nothing for home insurance, nothing for car. They're all not due this month, so I'm gonna leave them. And then phone and internet, I'm pretty sure the $355 is our phone and internet. I do know it's, actually no, I think this is it, $97.28 plus 80. Yeah, okay, so the $266.28 is what our phone and internet is for the whole month. It was more expensive in April because we changed over internet providers, so there was changing over fees. Extracurricular is just my daughter's soccer, and then lawn maintenance, they will come in May, so that's why I've added that there. Okay, these are our figures for our loans. Okay, now we've got $49 left. I have put some money over here in savings as well. Oh, there was nothing there, that's why. There was $49 left. Okay, so now we need to take $1 off, which is fine. We can just take it off. Something random. There we go. Now we have remaining to budget $0. Nice. Okay. And then expenses are over here. So I'm budgeting $1,000 for groceries for the month. That's $500 a fortnight. I think that's achievable. I've done groceries already for the first fortnight. So the first fortnight in May, I've done it and spent about $250. So that's totally fine. Petrol, eating out, both $100 a week. Pets, we just bought the dog food, so I'm just gonna take that down to $0 because we won't spend anything else. Miscellaneous, $500. I put gifts at -100 because it comes from our sinking fund. So it comes out of our, like, I don't need to put it in there because it coming from the income, I don't want it to reflect. It comes from our sinking fund, so we don't need to put that. Hubby spending, clothing, and these I've just put some random figures because I'm not really sure. We have just done a haul of some winter clothing, so we shouldn't need anything. Entertainment, I needed to buy, and entertainment is $145 because I today bought an annual pass for myself at the farm, which was $90. I don't know why it's $145. Am I expecting more expenses? Probably. Let's be real. Okay, now we can go to overall spending. I do want to put a total little line here though, so I'm going to copy that one and paste it there. and then just la-di-da equals the sum of these boys. P4 to 26. Yep, cool. All done. All right. I feel like we're finally getting somewhere. We've crunched the numbers, and we've got our, why isn't our $150 remaining to budget? Where has that come from? What have I done wrong? Oh, because we took these off, hey? We've gone to the wrong spreadsheet. Okay, $150 left to budget. Well then, we can just put it. Why is this doing this to me? Okay, $150 left to budget. We can just put it over here in extra car payment. Cool. Sounds good. All right. Everything is budgeted for. There is money everywhere. I think we're done. Okay. Now I'm going to head over and create my four weekly spreadsheets. So I've already done the 6th of the 5th, and then I'm going to do the next one, which is the 13th. Okay, so now I'm going to quickly create. Okay, so now while we're still going, I'm going to quickly create my weekly spreadsheets for the month of May. I've already done the 6th of the 5th. I just need to update the dates on here. 6th of the 5th. Whoop. 6/05/2026. And then I'm also going to just make these drop downs. Simple. Okay, so then you will become the 13th. Yeah. Same with this. I'm going to create drop downs. And then we can just, oh shit, sorry, that's not the 13th, that's the 6th. All right, now duplicate. Why did I get rid of my amount? I also don't know why. Budgeted anyway. Rename, this will be the 13/05/26. And then 13th, the same. Duplicate. Got the 20th. Rename the 20th or the 5th, 26th. Okay, and then we just need one more, and that'll be the month of May done. Rename the 27/05/26. All right, then we'll just adjust the dates on here. And then, all right, now we just need to go and have a look. So we're going to budget off 2,300, and then we're down $127. And I know for a fact it's this. Okay, I need 27. Put $27, and then just put over here 145, because if I can, I need to get to 145. But based on the $0 base budget, we can't afford that. 18 must be $0. Okay. I should have done this before I made the spreadsheets. Anyway, that is all done. I think that is everything for May. I think we've set up our budget for May. I think we're done. Okay, I think we're done. That brings us to the end of the video. Oh my gosh, guys, we have done our first full month reset. We've recapped April, budgeted for May, and got everything ready for the new month. I was so excited to film this for you guys. I'm so glad you could sit down with me. I really hope you guys have done your budgets. I do have my budget tracker. I will link it down below. Obviously, it is something I've made myself. It is very cheap. I think it's like $3 or $5. It's literally dirt cheap just to help people out. I will include the monthly into it now, the monthly little template I've created. As I still work on it, you may see changes come onto it. But if you have already purchased my budget tracker before, I'm happy to provide the monthly one for free. I'm not going to make you pay for it again. If you do want to try it out, I would love for some feedback. But basically that brings us to the end of the video. I loved sitting down and filming this. This was probably one of my favorite videos so far. I'm absolutely loving YouTube. So I've got a vlog coming as well. I filmed pretty much my whole week, Monday to Friday, which is super exciting. I might even do a weekend vlog over the weekend. It is a long weekend, so I might do a little weekend vlog and upload that next week for you guys. But I really appreciate any support on this video. I would really like it if you liked, comment, and subscribed. I obviously can't do it without a viewership, so I really love you guys engaging on this content. If you really like it, I would love to hear it in the comments. And if you have done your budget for May, how have you gone? Have you basically accounted for everything? Like, I would love to hear. So until next time, I'm gonna love you and leave ya. Bye guys.